We've run over $100 million of LinkedIn ads through this funnel, but as you can see here, there's a catch. It's not really a funnel, it's a pyramid. Now, everyone asks what works on LinkedIn. So in this video, we're gonna do a complete rundown on the full funnel LinkedIn ad strategy, and we're gonna pull back the curtain so you know what strategy to use for your company. Now, everyone knows about the standard marketing funnel, but for B2B, it's actually a pyramid. And I'll explain why as we get into this chart. Now, the first thing that we do as we approach these campaigns is we start by segmenting our personas. So you can see here at the top, we have persona 1 and persona 2. You might have even more personas than that, or you might just have one. But if you have multiple personas, you want to start your approach by segmenting those personas out, because if you have IT versus finance leaders that you're reaching, your ads are going to read and look a lot different for each of those. And they might each have their own pyramid. For simplicity purposes here, we're going to put it all in one chart, but each persona might have their own pyramid and their own content that they get depending on how far that they make it through the funnel. So now the reason that it's a pyramid is that we know B2B sales can take a long time. So we want to organize our content so that the further along that a prospect or a company moves through our funnel, then the more focus and investment dollars and marketing content we're going to put in front of them. So the more that they engage with us, the more that they're showing interest, the more that we want to invest and nurture them. Because the reality is the hardest thing in B2B sales is timing. And you might have somebody who's interested, but it's not the right time for them in their role or their company. And then even if they are interested, it can take months to get approvals and sign-offs and go through the demo and procurement processes. So the more that they show interest in us, that they show that they're ready for those next steps, then we want to present those next steps to them and put more focus and marketing dollars in front of them. So what that comes down to is it's very hard to move a cold prospect through a B2B marketing funnel. Instead, we're going to split our funnel into the demand generation side of the funnel, which is the top half of the pyramid here, and then the demand capture part of the funnel, which is the bottom half here. Your goal is to get the message out to prospects who fit your ICP, who can then make the decision to engage or opt in or take next steps further. So your goal is to get the message out, share your main POVs, share your benefits, hit on the pain points, and then let those prospects respond to that initial message that you're pushing out there. In the bottom half of the pyramid, in your demand capture side of the campaigns, then we are retargeting interested parties and offering them a demo or a free trial, then presenting your main offer. We don't want to just simply retarget somebody who clicked or watched the top half, but instead they need to show interest. And the simplest way is, did they take the effort to go to our website to high intent page? If they did, then I will include them in a retargeting audience and show them my bottom of funnel offer. But we see too many accounts that simply just retarget somebody. If they clicked on A, then show them B. If they clicked on B, then show them C. But people will click on anything. So in reality, you think you're moving people through the funnel, but they're just clicking on anything that they see in their feed that's grabbing their attention, but they're not really showing intent to buy. As the way you might think about this, the top of the funnel, we're doing a lot of on-platform retargeting, but I'm going to wait till somebody goes to my website, a company shows interest, maybe they go to a high intent page before I'm going to enroll them in my bottom of funnel campaigns, because then I'm ensuring that I'm spending my marketing dollars on the people who have shown the most intent and are most likely to buy, therefore creating the highest ROI of those campaigns. Otherwise, you're going to see some watered down retargeting audiences where you might think you have a big retargeting audience. You might be showing a lot of people your demo ads, but in reality, these people haven't shown the intent or the interest level needed that would indicate that they're ready to make a buying decision or that they're really an interested prospect. They might just like your videos, they might like your points of view, but maybe they're not really a decision maker, or maybe it's just not the right time for their company. You have to watch out for those pitfalls. The most important part of this whole funnel is when you're retargeting your hot, interested prospects and you're looking to do long-term nurturing of people who have shown that interest. They've booked a demo, they've indicated that they are interested in purchasing, they have purchasing power, this is a good time for them. These are the campaigns that are really going to do your selling. So in this bottom of funnel nurture component here, this is where you're really going to bring all the different points of view. You're going to bring all the content that somebody needs to make a buying decision. For these, we love to break down sales calls, analyze transcripts, talk to salespeople to know what are all the questions somebody asks in that sales process that they need to know in order to make an informed buying decision. What are those final questions that they're going to ask? What are those obstacles that most commonly come up? And then we want to craft our content to help address each of those. So very often what that comes down to being is a mixture of case studies, showing results other companies have gotten similar to them, social proof, which is awards and testimonials, ideally from similar companies in their industry, urgency if it's appropriate. Don't fake urgency or else that can feel a little bit fake in your marketing. Again, scarcity, don't fake it if it's not there, but if you do have limited seats or limited resources to offer, of course you want to present those points. And then we get into thought leadership. So it is very powerful if your prospects can hear from the actual people in your company. It often starts with founder-led companies, founder-led sales. People want to know what your company thinks about. And if you have a company that's just a logo and people don't have a chance to get to know the people inside of your company, that feels a little bit distant. But if your prospect has a chance to get to know your founder, your CEO, other thought leaders in your company, and even would like to boost posts from salespeople so that they get to build that relationship, they're really going to feel like they know you a lot more, a lot deeper, and they're going to be much more likely to choose you when they know they can trust you that way. And then we want to be boosting more reviews and testimonials. We like to get into tutorials and demo videos. Once somebody has shown interest, let's put the video out there. Let's ungate all the content. Let's show them how it works, because the more that they can visualize themselves using the product and getting that result, the more likely they are going to be to take next steps. And then finally, promoting other SMEs within your company. Especially like enterprise companies probably have a lot of thought leaders, a lot of smart people in their company who are sharing a lot of good points of view. And very often for these, we will segment so that the finance people who are sharing finance point of views are matched up and boosted to the finance leaders at that company. Marketing people will be boosted to marketing folks. Sales people will be boosted to sales folks. So in the top half of this funnel, we are going for reach. We want to get our message out and let prospects opt in to say that they're interested to hear more from us. And then we're going to retarget people on platform. So we're going to start with brand awareness, and then maybe we'll see if we can get some easy content leads out of them on platform for retargeting. But to really show them my bottom of funnel offers, I want them to show that they are interested, and they are interested to take those next steps by visiting my website or my company page are the best ways to do it. You may have other lists or other opportunity lists that you're syncing from your CRM, and then you can load those up in your bottom of funnel campaigns. Yes, that's where you're bringing the heat. You're offering them to book a call, request a demo, get a free trial, whatever it is that makes sense for your company. And then finally, once somebody becomes an opportunity, that's when you're going to bring all the marketing content that you have to really help get that deal over the line. So this is what a full funnel strategy can look like. It's going to be very custom for every business and every audience. And then the thing to really think about is don't make the marketing funnel any longer than it needs to be. So if there's active demand out there in the market and you have a 1-month sales cycle, often you can just go right for the requested demo or right for the starter free trial offer. You don't need to spend the time in the marketing layers here to go do brand awareness and go do lead magnets. Just jump right to the requested demo. Now that sounds nice and dandy, but for most enterprise B2B sales, we know your sales cycle is going to be 6 to 18 months or sometimes longer. And with that long period of time, you do need to go through the efforts and the stages of raising awareness, starting to generate some leads with your target accounts. And then once that account moves to an engaged status or an opportunity status, then you enroll in the next set of campaigns in your retargeting layer based on that. Again, you could run your demo offer to everybody, but the likelihood they're going to take that demo offer, and then the likelihood it's going to be the right time for them, you're going to spin your wheels and spend too much money over trying to push demos to people who aren't ready to request demos. People click on anything out there, so you want to structure your funnel so that it spends your marketing dollars most cost effectively and maximizes your conversion rates at every step of the funnel. If you have any questions, drop them below in the comments and we'll go from there. And if you want help implementing this for your business, go to speedworksocial.com or feel free to DM me on LinkedIn and we could chat about your marketing strategy and how this would work for your audience and your offer.